Alistair, finally President Trump has got his way on the big and beautiful bill. With debt rising by $3.4 trillion, what do you think this will mean for the overall global debt levels and gold?
Well, this is it's no surprise to me. I've always viewed President Trump as a spendthrift. He wants lower interest rates. He wants a lower dollar. Why? Because as a property man, as a real estate man, he realizes that these are the things that drive the value of his assets. That is the logic of his thinking. It goes no further than that. The problem really is, how is it going to be funded? Now, the foreigners, we can see, are increasingly reluctant to fund all this spending. And I think that very shortly, we will probably begin to see statistics, official statistics, reflecting a US economy that is actually going into recession rather than just going along with, without too much alarm. I think in the first quarter of this year, it showed a contraction of around about 0.5%, which caught everybody by surprise. Well, these statistics are pretty meaningless anyway. But when global investors, and we're talking particularly about the large funds and very often national funds, see that the contracting economy with accelerating debt means that the US economy is getting into an unfundable position, then they will stay away in droves. And not only that, but they'll start thinking, what's the security of our $40 trillion invested in the US currency and also underlying assets? So I think that, as going back to what's going on with the dollar's trade weighted index, we can see the dollar going down and foreigners getting truly scared about the situation, which means that the existing debt being rolled over, let alone the addition of this new debt from the big, wonderful bill, is going to be unfundable. It will only be funded by the banks short term. Banks will not go out along the yield curve. They will be prepared to buy T-bills and not much more. And interestingly, the authorities in America are already worried about this, because what they're doing is they're trying to reduce the leverage, the additional supplementary leverage ratio, which is an extra amount of capital which the big banks have to show on their balance sheets in order to make them more secure in the case of a banking crisis or a systemic crisis. It's quite fascinating watching the Fed. They had a meeting on this with the compliance officer saying, oh, yes, this isn't a problem. It's all in accordance with Basel III, so there's no problem from that point of view. But what it's all about is freeing up credit within the banking system to lend to the US government. They've got to do that. And of course, the problem with this is it means that more and more debt has to be rolled over every year, because the maturity of that debt reduces and reduces and reduces in aggregate. So in effect, if you like, the debt becomes closer and closer to cash, which is not good. It really is not good for all sorts of reasons, which I don't think I even need to go into.
It's interesting, isn't it? Excessive debt and devaluing currency. None of these countries ever learn. They don't read the history books.
No,
every 100 years, we get a changing of the baton, and that's exactly what's appearing to happen now.
Yeah, yes. Their thought power is not going to happen in my lifetime.
Sure, and I think that's the way they are thinking, but unfortunately, a lot of people get hurt along the way.
Absolutely.